Hello and welcome back to our exciting journey on Microsoft Entra ID. So we have covered, as you know, we have covered in our previous videos, those are user section, some part of user section. So we will just move forward for the remaining stuffs that we have under users. So as you have seen the previous videos, we have covered this user, what are the user types, how these values affect for our users and all, right? We have in our last video we have checked what are audit logs, what details we can be able to get that, how that can be beneficial for us when we are doing audits or when we are a part of audits and all. Then we have checked what are sign-in logs, what all the details we can be able to find under sign-in logs, how to check the conditional access policies and all, and IPs and the other things that is been related, right? Types of sign-in logs and all. Now today we will move forward and check some of the services that has been listed over there, and one of them is deleted user. So basically in Entra ID, the users which are deleted from our user sections, they directly do not go for a hard delete. Okay, they will first go for a soft delete. For example, we will just go under users and I will just delete this first user, for example. Okay, I will delete this. You can see this has been deleted. Refresh this page and you can see the first user has been deleted. Now we will move back to the delete section. You can see here the user comes to a soft delete state. This has not been deleted permanently. You can see when it will delete, when this user will delete as a permanent deletion, that will be on 17th of November, means after 1 month. So this user this user will be kept under soft delete for 1 month. So in Entra ID, most of the services are there that has been rely for 1 month. Like we have checked for audit and sign-in logs. Those also have a total of 1 month of period itself. You can say a notice period that we say is in our corporate world. So they have 1 month of notice period. After 1 month, they will not be there in the logs itself. Same is for the deleted user also. If you have deleted any of the user that has been present over here, it will go for a soft delete itself. Once it is under soft delete, you can be able to restore that particular user uh, between 30 days from today till 30 days. When 30 days has been crossed, it will be permanently deleted. You can see here itself. The permanent deletion date is 17th of November. That means after 17th of November, this user will be permanently deleted. Okay, so before 30 days, you should be able to retrieve that particular user. Okay, so this is a kind of soft delete state that we have here. The UPN will change. So basically in our UPN section, you can see this was the UPN of the user, but as we have deleted that particular we have deleted this particular account, so object ID has been added as a prefix with that particular UPN. So object ID and UPN will become the user principal name for that particular deleted user. So most of the time it happens that you will directly go ahead and search with the help of UPN and that user will not be appear in this section itself. So you need to check with object ID basically. If you are going to check with object ID, you will definitely be able to find that particular object or particular user here itself. Okay. So we have multiple options at the top. You can see bulk restore, like you have a bulk of users that has been deleted. Sometimes it happens that the sync OU, we are syncing our users from on-premises towards the cloud, and we have just by accidentally we have removed any organization unit from our on-prem AD. So all the user will be come under soft delete state. Okay, or you have removed a bulk of users and you need to retrieve those bulk of users. So you can click on bulk restore. You will get a CSV that you need to download, fill the details over that particular CSV, upload it again and submit. So it will restore all the users that you have listed over there. Okay, so that will you does not need to go with every of the user and click on restore itself. Okay, This is a bulk restore. Means you can provide all the details over there in the Excel, like username, display name, and object ID. These details that is been that you can be able to find here itself, or if you have your previous dump that you have downloaded for the users, you can be able to download from there itself also. Correct? That you can be able to download, and then you can be able to upload the same file, and those user will be restored to your all the user section itself. After that, we have delete permanently. For example, you have seen those all users, they doesn't have any means till now, so you can go ahead and delete it permanently. So these users will be deleted permanently, but after deleting it, you can't be able to retrieve, nor even though Microsoft can be able to help you to retrieve these users after they are deleted from the permanent deleted section. Okay. If you just click a restore user, this single user or the list of users that you have selected will be restored. Refresh is just a simple refresh button, and from manage view you can be able to get the details. Like if you want to edit the column or something like that, you can be able to do that. So this all thing we have under Microsoft Entra ID deleted user section itself. Okay. Then we will move forward for password reset. So password reset has its entire different section or portal itself, you can see. Here you can be able to manage all the password reset things that has been listed. So first of all, when you create this password reset, so there is a two-way. Sorry, there we have a two-way to go to this password reset. From user section, you can directly click on password reset, and you can be able to redirect here, or from home section, you need to scroll down in the list of the services like users and all. Here we have a password reset option has also been there. So both are same. From anywhere you can be able to go to that particular password reset section itself. So we will again go for this password reset. So the first is the property. So this is the setting for SSPR. You have heard, I think, the name SSPR. That is the password reset service. Self-service password reset service. What it will do, it will help our entire users which are there in Entra ID to reset their password online via providing you can say authenticator code or SMS or phone. Like they need to verify themselves with the help of their mobile phones or the two-factor authentication that they have selected. Once that has been done, they can be able to reset their password from that particular site itself. Correct? It could be like if you says we have a portal that is aka.ms/sspr. That is basically a site from Microsoft where you need to give your email name, username or email, and fill the captcha, and you can be able to reset the password. Okay, but here we have some options that we can do. If you have selected all the user can be able to reset their password, then it's good. Entire users which are there in this Active Directory or Entra ID may be able to reset their password. Okay, but if you have selected any specific group, for example, I have selected here the option for selected. So selected will give me this selected group, and if I have to select any group, I need to select some specific groups that will be the part of that particular SSPR itself. But here we have one challenge. You can only be select a single group. If you see, only one item can be selected. So here you need to create any nested group. If you are creating a nested group, then that group can be able to reset the password from online itself. Or you can create a single group or dynamic group. The dynamic group will have some particular extension attribute or particular attribute which will help them which will help users to add them in this group, and they can be able to reset their password. And if you have selected none, then nobody in this tenant can be able to reset their password with the from this online portal itself. So these three options we have for SSPR. We have some more couple of things with this SSPR. When we check for the sync services and all, we will check it out there. This is for Entra ID, like for the cloud users. Some more settings are there for the on-prem one, the users which are syncing from on-premises towards the cloud. Once we will get into that, we will check it out then. Okay. password reset, we have authentication methods. So basically these are the auth method that we are going to select for our users or for our end users that they can be able to provide as authentication methods and they can be able to sign in. So number of methods that required to reset, like that defines the alternative methods to identify the user's type of MFA itself. So like here I have selected one, that is security questions. You can go ahead and select the two. So based on that, you can be able to identify the same itself. Like here I have selected for security questions, or if you want, this has been updated. Like I have my previous student itself, so that's why it has been coming over it. If you go to authentication methods, you can be able to find like this itself. Okay, so Fido, we have Fido passkey itself, then we have Microsoft Authenticator, SMS, temporary pass access, hardware auth tokens, software auth tokens, voice call, email OTP, certificate authentication, and QR itself. So we have multiple of options that you can be able to select, and based on that, you can be able to configure the auth methods itself. So like for example, if we go for multi-factor authentication, you need to select here you are going for all the users or you are going for a specific group. Like for example, I doesn't want entire users may be able to use their mobile phone for MFA. So I will say only some specific groups like some VIPs who are going for marketing or for the client meetings and all, they can have the access for using Microsoft Authenticator and confirming the same. Apart from that, those users, all users should provide the hardware token. It could be Fido, it could be passkey, it could be uh, anything that is the hardware token that can be attached on your devices, and you need to provide thumbprint, or it could be authenticator machine, or it could be authenticator token which is being connected with satellite, and it will generate a 6 digit or 8 digits of token on every minute itself. Okay, so like that we can be able to configure it. We have some options here that you need to provide, like geographic location, if a password is been pushed, or password like authentication notification, push notifications that we need to give, or machine should be compliance or not. So these are methods you can be able to uh, set up from the authentication methods. Okay, after then we will move for registration. So users will be required to register for MFA. These are the basically settings. If you are saying yes, then they can be able to re-ask for MFA registration itself. And here you need to provide the number of days. For example, I am asking every 10 days they need to re-register their MFA, or every 90 days, or every 180 days. So basically we are keeping this no, as till the time our entire users having their mobile phones or MFA setup over there, they are not going to reset their MFA itself, or their mobile phone or other hardware tokens has been lost. They will create a request with us, and we need to reset there. As an admin, we need to do it, or the help desk team need to do the same. They need to reset their MFA and they can re-register it, right? So basically, in most of the cases, we are setting it no. But for example, if we have any challenges, or if we have any attack or some time of malicious activities in our tenant, then we can set it yes, and we can give it the number 1. So after 1 day, every entire user who are there in this tenant need to re-register their MFA. Okay, so this way we can be able to figure this out. After that, we have notifications. So we need to notify the users whenever their password is being resetted. Yes, we need to do that. Notify all admins when other admin reset their password. So it could be set at yes if you have couple of admins, like if you have a small Entra ID tenant and you have 2 or 5 or 10 admins, then that's better if you are keeping the same. Otherwise, you can just create an alert if your break glass accounts password has been resetted for not for all the admins, as you have multiple admins, application administrator, security administrator, Intune administrator, all those will reset their password and you will get an alert. So basically it will go with no. But if you want, you can go ahead with yes also, and you will be notified if any admin changes the password. And the user will always be notified if his password is being resetted. So that should be yes only. After that we have some customization. So basically this customization is if we want to give any custom help desk URL while resetting the password if they get any error. So we can provide a custom URL to contact with administrator. Like when I am going to reset the password, at last if his password get failed, I can't be able to reset the password. So there we can be able to provide any custom URL that will help us or that will help that particular end user so they can be able to connect with our help desk team and our help desk team can able to help them out. So from here you can be able to customize the same. This is on-prem integration. So basically when as I told you, when we are doing sync, so sync that will show you which agent you are using. You are using AD Connect Sync or Cloud Sync, the cloud provisioning agent that we have. So you can see in my environment I have only Connect Sync that has been active till now. Entra provisioning sync I have not done till now. Like we will do it together when we will go for a provisioning sync setup. Okay. So this first option is enable password write back for sync users. Like the user who are syncing from on-premises towards the cloud, they can be able to reset their password from cloud or not. And that password should be synced back to their on-premises or not. So basically here we have two services which will act as a agent there. One is PHS and one is PTA. Password has sync and pass-through authentication. Just you can understand that, you can listen that. So I'm just telling the names. Do not worry, we will check that out in the Entra Connect sync when we are going to cover those topics. Okay. So to enable, when we are enabling this, password write back will be acted and this has been enabled. Password write back with Microsoft Entra Connect Cloud Sync. If we are using Cloud Sync also as a syncing agent, then you need to enable this, and Entra Cloud Sync will also be used for password write back. Okay. Last one is allow user to unlock account while resetting their password. So if we are doing this, for example, in on-premises, we have an option to unlock account, right? We will take that, we will click on apply, the user's accounts will be unlocked. If we are taking this, then any of the sync user which is coming from on-premises, if they have resetted their password, once they have resetted their password, their account will be unlocked. Or else, like in our on-prem, we are having a unlock policy of basically of 30 minutes. In many of the cases I have checked, you can be able to customize it. So basically after 30 minutes, all the user will be unlocked. But if they are resetting their password, they can be unlocked at that particular instant also. So these are some basic settings that we can be able to check from here itself. Okay. Moving forward, we have administrator policy here. This is a brief of all the policy that we have enabled. And if you want to check it out, some more documents, we have this. Always we have a Microsoft document from the Microsoft end that we can check it out and we can work on that. So this is all the things we have under password reset. Okay. After that, under activity, we are having users as insights that will provide you the details, how many users have reset their MFA, how many users are used to reset their password with self-service password reset. So these all things you can see here. Voice token has been used, software token, Microsoft Authenticator, mobile, WHVF. So this is user and insight. You can be able to check this dashboards and all. Okay. In the users section, you can be able to. Okay, I think I have not enabled that, so that's why I'm not able to see that. Okay. And the audit logs, basically we are going to see all the password resets and all, who has reset the password, does it successful or is failure. Like there's an on-prem account, you can see on-premises connectivity failed, so we can't be able to connect with this on-prem account in our Entra. This user is in our Entra, but that user is been broken with our on-prem Active Directory. It happens, right? For example, my server has been shut down or some kind of activities that has been done. This is my test environment, right? So it happens. Okay. And this has been successful. So like this, you can be able to check the audit logs also here itself under activity. And the second thing is you can go directly to the audit log of that particular user also or tenant also, and from there you can be able to check those things. So this is the thing that we have under password reset. After password reset, we have user settings. In this user settings section, there are some basic settings that we can be able to configure for our users, and we can just bound out our users what they can be able to perform under our Entra ID and what can be restricted. So the first setting is user can register the application. So like any of the user can be able to register the application or not. So basically it is been no, as we are trying, so our administrator can be able to check all the applications and which is being needed, they can be able to register over there. Okay, if else you are a software based company, you want any of the user who are doing innovations and all, they can be able to register the application, go ahead, enable this. So any of the user which has been there, it could be admin, it could be non-admin user or a normal user, they can be able to register an application with any of the link or URL itself. Okay, but that is dangerous also. Like sometimes the application will come with the API permissions that should not be granted. For example, directory.read.all. For example, if they are able to read all the data of your directory, then it is beyond security breach. So basically, we should have some conditional access and other thing that we'll check later. So that can be figured out. Okay. The second one is restrict non-admins users from creating tenant. Like for example, you have non-admins, they cannot be able to create any of the tenant. Only global administrator can be able to create a tenant. So you need a global administrator to create any of the tenant. Non-admins cannot be able to create any tenant. For example, we can be able to create a test tenant for which will give you near about 1300 euros, and you can be able to use that tenant for 30 days, right? So that cannot be done. That can only be done with the global administrators and all. So that is the reason we are setting it to no. User can create security groups. So if you are allowing this, then any of the users, it could be admin, it could be non-admin, they can be able to create a security group. From where, like we have a group sections, login.microsoft.com/mygroups. Like under my groups, you are be able to see all your groups which is being listed. So if this setting has been set at yes, any of the user can go ahead and create a group like Teams group or M365 group or security group here itself. Okay. With the same, they can be able to create their security groups, and they can be able to manage those security groups as who will be create that particular group. He or she will be the owner of that group itself. So that is the reason we are setting it no. So they can request us, we will create and we will update the same. You are the owner, and whatever license and details they will be needed, we will be create with the help of that itself. After that, we have guest user access settings has been there. So this we have more deeply in the external collaboration settings that we have, but here you can be able to see what kind of permission or what kind of access the guest user should have. So here we have three kind of permissions that has been listed. First is a guest should have similar permission as per the member users have. For example, member can be able to see all the details of the other users, and they can be they are basically not restricted to access the Entra ID if we have disable or enable uh, the second setting or the another setting which is being listed here, right? So this is also depend on this. But for example, if we have enabled it, then the guest user are having the same access, same level of access as a member. Whatever member user can be able to do under Entra ID, they have the same access. Or we can go with guest users could have the limited access to the properties and memberships of the directory object. Apart from that, like whatever access the members user have, they doesn't have the same level of access. They can be able to see, they have the limited access to see the properties and membership of the directory objects. The third option is guest user access is restricted to properties and membership of their own directory object. So they can be able to see their directory itself. They cannot be see all the entire directory. So the properties and membership, they can will only be able to see their properties and their memberships and all. They cannot be see the entire directory membership. This is the most restrictive one. You can see Microsoft has written over there. So basically we are going with the middle one. For us, you can change it according to your need. Okay. So this is the most powerful thing that you have in Entra ID. What is this? If You have toggled it yes. So after toggling it to yes, any of the user which is there in your Entra ID, if he or she doesn't have any role means he is a normal user, you doesn't have given any of the role, that means report reader, global reader, any kind of reader is also not been included with this particular user, then he or she cannot be able to access the Entra ID. Okay, they will get an error, you doesn't have a sufficient permission, please contact back with your administrator. So this is the more secure way if you want to restrict your users to access the Entra ID who doesn't have any kind of roles over there. Okay, if user doesn't have any kind of roles in your Entra ID and this has been toggled as yes, that means they can't be able to go inside the Entra ID and check the details and all. If the roles has been there and it has been activated, then only they can be able to check the Entra ID users group and other things, other resources that has been there. Okay. After that, we have allow users to connect their work or school accounts with LinkedIn. Yeah, this is also an appropriate thing. Like for example, we have corporate LinkedIn nowadays, right? So if we are allowing our users to link their personal accounts with the corporate accounts, if it is been set as yes, they can do that. If you are setting for a specific group, for example, our marketing team or our HR team need to do that with their personal mail IDs and with their official mail IDs, they can be able to connect both the accounts. Yeah, you can select that particular group, or if you want no, you can do it no itself. Okay. After that, the another option is show keep user sign in. So if user is sign in, it should be shown as sign in. For example, if I am going to log in into a browser, if I am already signed in, then it will show me you are already signed in. Please create this. So it will not ask for any of the token or any of another kind of user ID and password itself. It will allow me to just log in over there. Okay. After that, we have external user settings and user features that we will see in the other settings that has been listed over there. So these all we have settings that has been there under users. With these are very powerful settings for users. You can go ahead, you can check these settings and you can play with these so you can have more understanding. The last that we have, this is the bulk operation result. So what are the operations here we are doing as a bulk? Bulk means like in our user sections we have discussed like to we have an option to bulk create, bulk invite or bulk delete. And in the deleted section today we have discussed we have an option to bulk restore. So whatever activity we are doing in entire Entra ID for a bulk operations, that result will be shown over here itself. It could be bulk delete, it could be bulk invite, it could be bulk create, it could be bulk restore. Whatever you have done, that operation result will be shown over this portal itself. So whatever, like we have a status over here. If it succeeds, then it will be succeed. If it fails, then why there will be a reason why this has been failed. You have not filled the Excel properly, some duplication has been there, or whatever is the reason. Okay, and what is the total request means what is the total user. For example, in that particular Excel, you have given 50 user. So you can see like here you can get success 40, failure 10. And what was the failure reason? Total request 50. Admin uploaded, yes. So already admin has been uploaded the same to do the bulk operation. Okay. Upload time, completion time. We have many of the things over here. You can be able to list the column and all that. That is the second way. But the result that you want to see, like here you can be able to just download the Excel and upload the Excel. But if any failure has been there or if it is success or failure, where you need to see, you need to go to this bulk operation result, and on the bulk operation result you can be able to find that details. Okay, so this is all the things that we have under users. And yeah, at the last we have a support request. If you have any issue, connect with the Microsoft. I will suggest before connecting with Microsoft, ping us, comment us. If we have a mail ID in the channel itself, you can draft us an email also. We will check that issue. If there is an solution that we can be able to provide from our end, I'm happy to help you out with that. So these all things we have under users. We have discussed each and every option that has been under user. If you like it, please support us, like, share, and subscribe our YouTube channel. And we will just create another video. We will move forward with groups. So another video will be a theoretical video that will include groups, basically what are the types of groups, how we can be able to create the groups and all. And after the theoretical session, we will move forward for the practical overview. Okay, till the time, take care, bye bye, good night, and please like, share, and subscribe, support us. Thank you very much.